Hello friends. Today we will know about earthquake. So first of all know. What is an earthquake? An earthquake is what happens when two blocks of the earth suddenly slip past one another. The surface where they slip is called the fault or fault plane. The location below the earth's surface where the earthquake starts is called the hypocenter. And the location directly above it on the surface of the earth is called the epicenter. Sometimes an earthquake has foreshocks. These are smaller earthquakes that happen in the same place as the larger earthquake that follows. Scientists can't tell that an earthquake is a foreshock until the larger earthquake happens. The largest main earthquake is called the main shock. Main shocks always have aftershocks that follow. These are smaller earthquakes that occur afterwards in the same place as the main shock. Depending on the size of the main shock, aftershocks can continue for weeks, months, and even years after the main shock. Although the earth looks like a pretty solid place from the surface, it's actually extremely active just below the surface. The earth is made of four basic layers: a solid crust, a hot, nearly solid mantle, a liquid outer core, and a solid inner core. Causes of earthquake. The short answer is that earthquakes are caused by faulting, a sudden lateral or vertical movement of rock along a rupture-break surface. Here's the longer answer. The surface of the earth is in continuous slow motion. This is plate tectonics, the motion of immense rigid plates at the surface of the earth in response to flow of rock within the earth. The plates cover the entire surface of the globe. Since they are all moving, they rub against each other in some places, like the San Andreas Fault in California, sink beneath each other in others, like the Peru-Chile Trench along the western border of South America, or spread apart from each other, like the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. At such places the motion isn't smooth, the plates are stuck together at the edges, but the rest of each plate is continuing to move. So the rocks along the edges are distorted, what we call strain. As the motion continues, the strain builds up to the point where the rock cannot withstand any more bending. With a lurch, the rock breaks and the two sides move. An earthquake is the shaking that radiates out from the breaking rock. People have known about earthquakes for thousands of years, of course, but they didn't know what caused them. In particular, people believe that the breaks in the Earth's surface, faults which appear after earthquakes, were caused by the earthquakes rather than the cause of them. It was Bunjiro Koto, a geologist in Japan studying a 60-mile-long fault whose two sides shifted about 15 feet in the Great Japanese Earthquake of 1871, who first suggested that earthquakes were caused by faults. Henry Reed, studying the Great San Francisco Earthquake of 1906, took the idea further. He said that an earthquake is the huge amount of energy released when accumulated strain causes a fault to rupture. He explained that rock twisted further and further out of shape by continuing forces over the centuries eventually yields in a wrenching snap as the two sides of the fault slip to a new position to relieve the strain. This is the idea of elastic rebound, which is now central to all studies of fault rupture. How do we measure earthquakes? Earthquakes are measured using instruments called seismometers that detect the vibrations caused by seismic waves as they travel through the crust. Seismic waves can be both natural, from earthquakes, or caused by human activity, explosions. The concept of a seismometer is simple. A weight tends to stay still as the earth moves, and the relative motion can be drawn on a reel of paper as a zigzag line. The bigger the vibration, the bigger the zigzag. Modern systems use electronics to give more accurate results, but the principle is the same.